Hello again on YouTube. Welcome back to Mabu College. This video is the second half of Conditions of the Leadership. If you missed the first half, please watch it before you continue. And if you're already done watching, let's resume. Why not? So, interestingly enough, human virtue is a very important trait if you want to be an ideal leader, as I said in the first half of the video. For the second half, I talk about the overall essential leadership skills, like what you're gonna have to do in practice. On YouTube, you can find too many know-how videos about how to be the most influential leader, but I don't intend to teach you how you can be skillful, because I'm not professional leader who runs the big company like Steve Jobs, or I don't even manage a large group of people, but I can pretend to be a great leader. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounds I can be smarter than anyone else. Generally, leaders are encouraged to speak differently than the average individuals, but I think that's not really true. For the very first step to have an effective communication with another person, listening comprehension is the very prerequisite skill before you actually start talking. We're gonna look at active listening. I'm here to provide you some useful communication tips to help you increase your impact to lead your team with more excellence. So, active listening is basically a way of listening and responding to another person, but that improves mutual understanding. You talk about yourself too much. What's good, what's bad, you complain, fair, not fair, and whatever. But in fact, people do not hear you. When people go have a drinking party with their teams, for example, they start talking funny over the glass of beer, and when they get drunk, they start to fight. Don't you think that's stupid? I really hate the shit. I was working on a group project with my teammate when I was in college, like back 20 years ago. One of my teammates was so lazy to work together. She didn't reply. She gave me no updates of how assignment of hers was going on. And afterwards, we claimed to her bad behavior because she delays all the time. But anyhow, she complains. I don't remember exactly what happened, but she talked about an excuse and why she didn't do her part. And you know, she spoke like a creative avoidance. Suddenly, she blew up her mind like BAM! And started yelling. How could you say she should be a great leader? So think about this situation, for example. We don't want a crappy conversation, right? Yeah, we just want a concise statement, which is, I'm so sorry, I didn't make it. She figures out what she wants to say in one or two sentences, and in doing so, we can take a next action very smoothly, or she can redeem her honor. Also, it sounds really confident, right? Yeah, when you are able to express yourself really clear and sounded like, oh wow, they really understand me. Then this is exactly the same thing as I'm doing YouTube too. So I always try to be confident when I speak to you in English in my 20s. In my 20s, I was so afraid of speaking out in public. I always cared about my grammatical mistake, mispronunciation, and the way I speak English. But the point doesn't matter if my English sounded like a Japanese. I can't modify it forever, no matter how many years I work hard. Well, I can improve it to some degree, but I can't be a perfect English speaker. I gave up on it. So what I can do is to give you something concrete, something people are able to understand me and react to it, hopefully positively, and listen to them. This is the top secret tips, folks. When you get a feedback from people, even negatively, listen attentively. You need to understand what they are saying, respond, and reflect on what's being said. Probably this might be something you are missing if you are not a leader. Myself, I wasn't really patient. I wasn't really in a good harmony with anybody because it annoyed me when people criticize me. When people complain to you, you don't feel really good, don't you? Especially when their complaint is not true. When people criticize me for my thought or any other opinions, I didn't think too much about the way they did. I believe I would be okay to have my own opinion, even if I was wrong. I believe that that's my way. But I kind of stopped it. I stopped thinking about myself too much. Yeah, I changed my mindset, and you know what? I became an active listener, and I broke up some small pieces to pieces of categories like, oh, this is a great opinion that I have never thought, or this is something around my own area of expertise. Likewise, you can have new findings from their feedback. When I took it granted for the negative comment was a source of gold, I felt much better. So even if you get the negative feedback from people you don't know, you don't feel too bad. When someone gives you a bad comment in social media, you don't get mad yet. Some might be an offensive and aggressive tone, but in case of it, you can just block it. That's all, right? It's pretty easy, right? Yeah, when I communicate with my team, for another example, I try to find out my weakness and look at my operations and marketing and my daily behavior to see if I can modify and improve it. I knew that's a really powerful thing. A lot of times I tell myself I'm wrong. So whatever I get a bad grade from people, I go find the root cause as a business operation and give them technical advice in plain language. So that you feel much better in the same way. Especially if you have a power like a frontline supervisor, a product manager, a project manager, and someone who manages a group. Listening skill is a must. It's related to a human virtue though. Yeah, let's say you are so powerful. You have the right to make a big decision in an organization. Okay? So, and if you just go to the path for the profit, sometimes you fail. I mean, if your leadership and the team engagement are not linked to each other, you are likely to fail. What is that supposed to mean? As I mentioned, listening skill is important, right? But you don't know, especially to whom you are supposed to listen. I saw a sneaky coworker who only listens to his manager and ignores others' opinion. When he is with his manager, he always become an active listener and say, "Yes, sir, I work for you right away." But when he is with his team, he gets so lazy. He does nothing. Yeah, there should be at least one person in the company like that. Yeah, he's asked for help, but he doesn't really contribute his effort for the team. But he does his best way for his manager. See how tricky he is? Yeah, he was not a hard worker, although he had a skill. A lot of teammates of mine had the same suggestion he should leave or get the hell out of the community, but no one claimed it to our manager. And because we are afraid of having in trouble. Yeah, we expect someone else to work for it. Yeah, but no one did it. Yeah, that's a weakness of Japanese work ethics, you know. So if you think it's unfair to treat you, you may sue. But we don't really like to have a fight in a workplace, especially when we have many female workers. They are not going straight, but instead they tend to go around the bush and saying "uchu." They avoid troublemaking, which is still good. So those sneaky people manipulate it. They don't say anything stupid with F word, but they try to get the things done at their convenience. More like they want to take a control and advantages of people at the lower level or lower layer of the company hierarchy. That's why they get arrogant or selfish. It's just like you treat the most beautiful ladies in the company with respect and hospitality. You are really nice and a kind person, but you don't behave nice to ugly bitches. And then you turn to be a big jerk. People hate you if you do so. That's obvious. I understand that such a cunning or scheming people as a fox need to undergo this drastic change of character, but you justify it as, oh, well, you like it better than I did. I feel so weird. I've been talking about it, and it's not like I've been a prude or anything like that. But nevertheless, there are some people who have a drastic change of their characters that they become nice when dealing with their managers at the upper layer of company hierarchy. In Japanese, that's called peko peko suru. Peko peko suru. We have practiced Confucianism. Originated from Korea. Yeah, you know what is, right? Yeah, we have a Japanese tradition and culture that we respect older people as well as a Korean does by greeting every morning we meet them, for example. And so sometimes it's too stressful to work with older people in a vertical structured society. If you don't really like to work under its work environment, you might want to change your job or start your own business. So be careful to be arrogant, selfish, and greedy for money, especially when you are willing to get promoted. Okay? So people watch you. Watch how are you gonna change your mind when you upgrade your social position. Leadership quality seems to start out as being more important than the others. You can get improved by practice and repetition, and the quality of your leadership skill can be improved. But if you forget about social connection with your team at the lowest level, you might end up to lose your trust in the long run. Make sure you keep that in mind that someone betrays you sooner or later. Here, as you can see the whiteboard, I put down the human resources matrix, which is essentially needed to be a leader. These are the key figures that help you to measure who will be the best leader. Let me go over with it. This is a simple matrix structure suggested by HR to judge if you are eligible to be a leader. There are some traits on how to evaluate whether or not you can be a great leader. This is used in a situation like that. When HR picked up the next leader from some candidates, it seems helpful that they refer to this HR matrix. What does HR matrix indicate each one of attributes? Let's go over with it. So this is a table to categorize if you have both human budget and job capability. You see many types of your co-workers. One has a good personality but not being capable of doing a job, so like job experience is inadequate. Another one is capable of doing excellent job but his character sucks. If you have both human budget and great job experiences in the past, you can be successful, of course. There is nothing you need to complain, but if you don't have both, you are hopeless. It's so simple. Yeah, it's so simple to understand. You have no idea what kind of person that you should select as a next leader. Same as presidential election with Trump versus Biden. Matrix A is not a concern to discuss this time because a person categorized from A is a perfect fit to the next leader position. D is out of question. Okay, so how about B and C? Which one do you think is more important? I give you 5 seconds to think. You make a choice. Yes. What's your answer? Your answer is B? No. Wrong. Why? You know why? Why is B better? If your next leader has a good personality but doesn't do a good job, you can manage it at your best knowledge. You can help them. Yeah, if your job performance is better than your next manager, you can still help. Yeah, you can optimize your job performance when needed. If you are transferred to other department, like from HR to IT, your job performance might be better. Or on a job training, you can be much better in 1 or 2 years. You step up your job career in the process of learning stuff, and in the meantime, you can make a better outcome. So there should be more chances that you can improve yourself, and people watch how you're gonna get better and evaluate if you are the best as a leader. However, if you are an opposite person, HR will need to have a second thought. That means you are capable of doing your job, but you are so selfish. So this is not good. It is just counterproductive to maintain a good relationship with your team. Looking back to the old day, Kobe had a big argument with Shaq because Kobe tried to lead the team with self-esteem, and eventually Shaq got kicked out of the Lakers. You know, if you know it better, you know what I mean much better. I'm not sure, but if you are asked to select the best leader from your candidates, you might as well avoid type B person. If you are sitting on a fence whether to select the best one, don't make a quick decision because you might change your mind later. That happens rarely. It all applies to you. A lot of candidates want to get promoted in the spirit of career development. They tell you only good things about what they're gonna achieve for you and whatever beneficial it is for you. But once they are promoted, they do nothing for you. Yeah, they promise, but anyhow, they don't keep a promise. And then, when their job performance is better, they start rushing out against our poor job experiences. My ex-company was so terrible. Yeah, they really sucked. In recent years, many Japanese companies have expanded operations into another sector of business market. Let's say from manufacture to a retail business, you know. So they are shifting to diversity in a workplace, and this can help to lead to innovation, which it is greatly welcomed. But the concept of the lifelong employment in business culture is at the risk of collapse. You know what the hell is going on? More than ever, companies are trying to more easily to lay off or dismiss their workers in a way it is in other countries. When trying to remove employees, they point out all of your shortcomings and failures at work and imply that your dismissal is unavoidable. Oh my god, that sucks. The company will then ask you to sign a resignation agreement. If you find yourself in this situation, you should first seek professional advice from a lawyer before signing the stupid documentation. In Japan, this is often referred to as an engaged or voluntary resignation, or encouraged retirement, or other similar terms. So whatever the case, you should avoid being with such terrible leaders as my ex-one. If you don't know for who you should vote, I recommend you to collect the raw data as much raw data as possible. You don't know because your inputs are not adequate to make a better judgment. If you pick up the wrong leader, your organization will be corrupted because his surroundings are with the same pond scum. It's gonna be too stressful to stay with them, and you end up to sign up the voluntary resignation. So most of the time, you need to be so picky when you have to pick up who's gonna be working with you next. I believe most of the part you can agree with me. Hopefully, I bet you do. Once again, all you gotta do is look at the human virtue. Find a leader who gets along with vulnerable people, who are incapable of doing stuff. Someone who makes the most of his power for disadvantaged people. Before I call it a day, I would like to add some more traits to improve your human virtue. Okay? So the thing is that you gotta stop bragging, boasting, and big talk like I'm doing. That's a common and most frequent shortcoming you get trapped by. If you forget about being humble to speak in public, from my experience, I can tell you most of the times you don't have a good result. Yeah, I think so too. Well, I was the one who always talked about myself a lot. I showed off my achievement, my bright future, and more. But when I was done talking, everyone was gone. No one was there. How pathetic I am. How pathetic am I? So make sure you don't speak ill of people, talk funny, or speak in a bad manner for stuff like that. You are trying to increase communication skills so that you can lead your team with more excellence. That's why Mabu College is in here. So maybe you have thought or you have heard over the 100 different ways you have noticed the leaders communicate and how they come across in their own ways. I encourage you, in case you have any your own comment, question, and whatever, please put a comment below. I listen to you as an active listener. If you are interested in ongoing comment in this kind of topic, feel free to contact me. I always welcome you. Thank God bless, and I hope you get to use my advice. You are the very next opportunity. Okay, time's up. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. I see you next time. Have a nice day. Later.